Well, hello, everybody. I am not Monica, obviously. I'm Marty McFadden, filling in for Monica. And welcome to the VZWBuzz recap. Hope everyone had a great time on the Twitter chat. This week's theme is mobile entertainment. And I'd like to introduce our guest, Robin. Robin, why don't you say hello to us?
Hi, everybody. Glad to see you all again.
And Robin, the prize, we want to talk about the prize. A couple of things we want to talk about before we get into the recap here. The prize we have today for one lucky viewer is another Sony, let me get a shot of it here, another Sony Xperia Z3V smartphone. It's one lucky winner, one lucky viewer, best question, best comment, and that'll go out to one lucky person. So that's what you guys are fighting for. Yeah, exactly. That's an awesome gift. And also, want to mention that this recap is sponsored by Verizon Wireless. Our friends at Verizon sponsor the recap, and we're very grateful for that. The other thing I want to mention also before I forget is last week we were down in the Bronx, New York. For those of you in the New York area, we were at a Verizon Wireless on Wheels mobile store in the Bronx at Westchester Avenue and U.J. Grant Circle. That's there for the rest of the month. So if you're in the New York area, take a look over, in the Bronx and check that out. There are some great Verizon people to help you out. There might be something you want to check out. So with that said, Robin, mobile entertainment.
Yes.
Let's get into it. What are some of your favorite mobile entertainment apps or services? Especially as the summer is winding down now.
Right. Well, I think the biggest thing for me is that I actually do not watch movies on my phone. I know I'm out of the ordinary, especially when I looked at all the questions and answers in the chat today. But what I do like to do is to find movies on my phone or my tablet, and then I send them to my large TV. For us, it's really easy. We have a lot of Samsung products. I only buy Samsung TVs now. And I have the Note 4 is my regular phone that I use. And they make it so easy to send things from one device to the other. Xbox and Microsoft are another way to do that you can automatically send things directly from your Windows devices to your TV and everything. And if you don't have, Marty, I think you have a graphic,
Mm-hmm.
The Miracast.
Yes, let me get that up.
Okay. And so Miracast, so that's the more generic name, Miracast is how you spell it. Belkin has a great one, an adapter for it that Marty's showing right now that you can get at Verizon. But the Miracast, if you have a TV that doesn't necessarily have all the smart things built into it, but that it does have the port on it, you can plug this in, and then you can still stream things from your phone or your tablet directly to your TV, your newer TV. It still can't be. I mean, if you're on an old tube TV, there's not a lot of help right now, but they're really very cool, and I think that's a great way to be able to let the whole family enjoy everything still on your large screen, but you can easily pick it out on your tablet or your phone.
That looks like a really cool device over there, and that just plugs right into your TV. Is that HDMI?
Yes. So, well, actually, I think it's USB is how they plug in. You need an HD TV to do this, definitely, but it can be a little bit older. So you just need to check your ports, what ports you have available on your TV. So it can be an older TV, but not too old, that kind of thing.
I gotcha. Okay. That looks great. Excellent.
Yeah, and one of the other great things about all of this, where you can share video to other devices, other TVs and things like that, is that I don't know about you all, but when I watch Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or whatever, if you watch it on your TV, if you have a smart TV or if you have a Chromecast or something like that, typing in on your TV, moving the mouse or the keypad around, you have to go to each letter individually. It takes forever, and it drives my husband and I crazy. But if you find the movies and TV shows or music, photos, whatever it is, on your phone or tablet first, which is much easier to navigate through the app and much quicker, then you just send it to your TV or your sound system, and it's just so much easier to do it that way.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I know you had a couple other things as well that you want to go through.
So we have streaming services. We talk about a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So for TVs and TV shows and movies and that, there is Netflix is probably the biggest one, which really has a great selection. Amazon Prime is what I personally use. Apple has AirPlay, I believe that's what it's called. Then there's the Google Chromecast, which is another of those little sticks that you plug in. And then there's also, if you have something like Verizon Fios, so that is kind of cable, but it has these other things built in as well. And so you get your internet and you get your streaming video and you get your cable channels all in one. So if you're in a Fios area, it's definitely something to look into because it is amazing. I wish we had it here in St. Louis, but I've seen it in other places. So
yeah, I wish
I'm
we had
very
it here
jealous
in Connecticut
that we don't have that here.
Yeah, I wish we had it here in Connecticut. You mentioned Verizon Bios. I wish we had it here in Connecticut. I know it's available in New York area and Florida and some in the West Coast. But if you have access to it, it's a fantastic service. Not only for internet, which is probably it's world class internet. It's the best internet out there as far as speeds and throughput and bandwidth. But the Verizon TV offerings. In fact, I'll put that up on the screen one more time here. They're incredible too, you know, and it's packaged right with your internet as well. So great offering from Verizon and something definitely to check out.
I agree. It's well worth it, and it's amazing service. Just like I am. So you guys all know that we do this work with Verizon, but I am a personal customer of Verizon as well, and I'm happy to pay for it because it's really good service. And the Fios is the same kind of thing. Everyone I talk to loves having Fios, so it's well worth checking out.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to go through a couple of things. I know we mentioned Netflix, and now all these services for entertainment are available not only in the browser on the desktop, but since we're talking about mobile entertainment, they're also available on iOS and Android as well. And I'm just going to go.
Windows.
And Windows as well, exactly right. And I'm just going to go to the webpage here.
Okay.
And I do want to mention HBO Now. That's a service that just came out on iOS back in the spring. And what's great about this is, and again, all these services, not only can you watch them on your TV through an Apple TV or a Roku or a connected TV, a smart TV, but you also take them with you on your tablet. And this doesn't really matter the platform. They're available on all the major platforms. As Robin said, Windows, Android, and iOS. And what I like about this, and I'm going to put up Netflix as well, is that, and I use this all the time, if I'm watching Netflix on my TV and I need to pause the show, or if I'm binge watching a series, and one of my favorite, I don't know why this is one of my favorites lately has been, let me get the $2. I'm switching the show too, so if I'm a little bit clunky, you'll know why. But let me just put myself in here. Bear with me. But one of the things I like about Netflix is that since it's a cloud service, it syncs through the cloud. So if I'm watching on my TV and I need to pause, and one of the shows I'm really into is Storage Wars. I don't know if you guys watch that show, but they shot a series out in California. They shot a series out in Texas. I don't know why I like that. It's people bidding on storage lockers that have been in default. I don't know. It's fascinating to me. But I can pause it, and then I can take my tablet and resume the show. If I'm lying in bed, it's kind of relaxing. I can do that, and it's great that way. All these services work that way as well. And the other service I want to mention as well is Hulu. Now, this used to be a free service. I think they do have a free tier, but they have Hulu Plus, and I think they rebranded to Hulu Only. And I believe it's $7.99 a month. And what's great about this service is you like regular TV, but you don't have time to watch it when it's on. These have all the series, all the shows, back catalogs, current season, and you go in there. And again, with this service, not only can you watch on your smart TV, but all your devices as well. You can pick up as where you left off. you get a profile just like you do in Netflix, and you can go to save your shows, subscribe to shows, which is great, so you'll never miss a beat. And for me, it works great. It's a really good adjunct. And if I had Vios here, I would be all over that, obviously. But it's a great adjunct if you have regular cable, or if you're cord cutter, if you don't have cable and you don't have access to Vios, it's a great adjunct to that as well. What do you think, Robin?
I agree with you. And what I would say for people comparing, some of the different streaming services, so Hulu has commercials, and they're built into the show. However, you're also there's a lot more content that is brand new content. So you get it like the day after it airs on regular TV, you can watch it on Hulu for a lot of the shows, which you can't do for a lot of the things on Netflix or Amazon Prime, things like that. So if you really like the brand new TV and don't want to have to wait a season for it to, roll out onto streaming, Hulu Plus, Hulu, whatever it is right now, is really a great service. Netflix has, I think, the largest variety of TV and movies out there. Huge selection for kids as well. Amazon has a decent selection, but then there's other perks that are involved if you have Amazon Prime, along with the streaming TV. So you have the photo storage, you have streaming music, subscription, free delivery, things like that. So there's pluses and minuses to all of them, and it really depends on what you want out of the service. And then there's pay as you go too. So you can just order one movie at a time if you want. You don't have to subscribe to something if you don't want to. You can just pick, like on Amazon a lot, even though I have an Amazon Prime, there are movies that aren't included in Prime, and I just order them through there for a couple bucks, and boom, it's on there. And then I own it, or unless I rent it, and I can watch it whenever.
Yep, exactly. I do want to look at Twitter. We got a ton of tweets coming in, and I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I saw Brandy Donahue. She had a couple of questions that were all related to data, and I thought we would address this. So thank you, Brandy. So all of these things are going to use your data if that's the part you're on. If you're at home and you have Wi-Fi service at home, you always want to make sure your phone or tablet is connected to your Wi-Fi, because generally speaking, for most carriers of your home Wi-Fi, that's not limited. Your phone, your data plan, so if you're on your Verizon phone, you have a data plan with them. So like I have 6 gigs a month that I can use. But TV, movie, music, all of those things do count towards your data plan if you're using the data plan at the time. So if I'm out and about, I'm using my data plan. If I'm at home, I'm on my home Wi-Fi, and it doesn't count towards my data plan. If you want to limit it, there are some different routers and some different features that different carriers have sometimes that can help you limit it, but you really just need to keep a good eye on it. And the carriers are really great. I know Verizon, you get a message if you're at 75%, if you're at 90%, you get really close, and the apps are much more up to date than they used to be.
I love that. I'm glad you mentioned the Verizon app, because I love that. Misty and I travel quite a bit, and we're on the road, and we use our data all the time. And I have a ton of data, but it's nice to have that and know exactly where you stand every month. I do want to look. I'm trying to get these tweets here. Mark Crawford tweeted me and said, "Are there any free apps for movies that don't require a sign-up fee?" I'm not sure about movies per se, but I know that Hulu, I believe, has a free tier. And I do want to mention, and this also applies to mobile, all the major networks have their own apps. So and I hate to, this is guilty pleasure, I'll admit it right here, first time publicly. I'm a Big Brother fan. And Misty can't understand why, but I am. And we were on the road the other week, and the only way I could watch the show was to get the CBS app and stream it. So that saved the day while I was on the road. But ABC has an app, NBC has an app, Hulu. So if you're a fan of that, those are all free. All the network apps are free access. So you can certainly watch there. Movies, there might be some services with older movies. I'm not sure, Robin, if you have any answer to that or know of any services.
Yeah, so my information on that, as far as the network stuff. So yes, most stations, network and cable and that, have streaming apps and streaming services now. A lot of them, though, some of it give you some free content, but some of it, they're working in conjunction with cable providers right now. And Fios would be one of those even, but you have to put in a special code given to you if you're a subscriber of a cable service of TV, and then you get access to like everything. So some of it's free, Some of it you have to have access, and it just really depends on the channel. I know it varies, and it's changing all the time because the networks are really trying to adapt to what users are doing, and they haven't quite caught up with us yet. They don't realize that so many of us are streaming right now.
Yeah, I saw another question from Brandy Donahue. Really good question. Is there a streaming service that you can load a show on your phone to watch later offline? I'm not sure about the streaming services per se, but I know Robin mentioned the one-offs. So if you're an iTunes subscriber, you can buy and rent movies and download them to your tablet or smartphone. So if you're taking a trip, maybe you're taking a flight, and obviously the Wi-Fi and the planes are not going to support streaming, you can load those on your device and watch them later. And I'm sure it's the same for Google and Amazon, the same thing. If you rent or buy movies from there, you can load them on your device. So that's probably a good way to go. I'm just kind of
Yeah, exactly. You definitely want to, if you're taking a plane ride, or even if you're doing a car trip and you're traveling across the country or several states, you're going to run into those pockets where service isn't that great, and you don't want to have to be streaming your movie at the time. You want to download those, a couple of things ahead of time so that they're going right from your device to viewing it, rather than having to rely on the internet connection to get it, because planes do not support that. Plane Wi-Fi do not support streaming movies and stuff at all.
No, I will say I'm a big Southwest Airlines fan, and I know they have free streaming. I think they stream like 20 networks live TV in the air. So I know they have that, but you're right, Robin. I mean, normally that Wi-Fi in the planes isn't going to support streaming. There's another question. Questions come up about streaming on your phone and battery life. I think this is a good shot. I know, Robin, we were talking before the show this week as far as some of the things we were going to talk about. Getting an external battery pack, and I know, Robin, you know about this certainly more than anybody, is almost imperative, almost required. I think any phone, the streaming and the video is going to be the most processor intensive and battery draining activity you can do. So I would highly recommend you get an external battery. There's a ton of them out there. Mophie, there's a ton. Motorola has some great ones, and you can charge that up and use that. And normally, a lot of these battery packs will get you at least 1 or 2 full recharges on a charge, and that'll get you through a day no matter what you're doing. Certainly. I'm not sure if you want to add anything
need
to that.
I would say a little warning for people when you're buying battery packs. This is the same as the Bluetooth speakers, actually, too. As there's a lot of cheap ones out there now that are just a few bucks, and you're like, oh, well, that'll do. Why do I have to spend so much money for a Mophie or something like that? There's a huge difference in quality of the product. And I'm not sure of the actual electrical term, because I don't know if it's milliamps or whatever it is, but there's going to be some ratings on there, and ask at a store or look, and if you're shopping online, look for customer help or in the reviews and stuff. And you want to find good quality products, because otherwise you're just wasting your money, and you're throwing it away within a month. It's not working. So I really would suggest investing in a good quality product, and Mophie and the Motorola Power Packs are 2 of my very favorite as far as that's concerned.
I definitely agree. James Rocco mentioned a little while ago on Twitter, and thank you, Jason Rocco. I'm sorry, Jason. Crackle and Vudu, VUDU, are 2 services, have free memberships, and you only pay for the movies you watch. So those are 2 you may want to check out. I think I've seen those on Roku boxes and probably smart TVs as well. I'm just kind of...
And Crackle has a lot of free content as well, including they'll have several, like they have some old shows like Barney Miller and stuff. They don't have the full, complete, all of the seasons, but they have Seinfeld on Crackle, I know. So it's worth checking out all of these different services you come across, and you kind of have to pick and choose, look and see what kind of content they have.
Yep. And Syndicast is mentioned. Do I need separate players for multiple TVs? Yes. You do. Especially the connected players like the Apple TV and the Roku players, those are designed for one TV at a time. They're fairly inexpensive. I know the Apple TV, in fact, inside tip, I'm a huge Apple fanboy. I follow the news. The Apple TV currently available is on sale for $69, and there's a reason for that. I fully expect there'll be a new one coming out next month. So you might want to wait if you're interested in the Apple TV. Roku is a great player that will connect to any TV with an HDMI connector. But yeah, you do need players for each TV if you want to play them
So
on your
I
TV.
want to add on to that, Marty, that the Chromecast is a really good option for a lot of people, and
Yes.
that it's a little plug-in dongle, and so you can easily take that with you from TV to TV as long as your TV is able to accept it. Or even when you travel, hotel rooms, a lot of them now have more modern TVs, and I'm able to connect to a lot of them. And there's certainly a lot of options out there for people.
Yeah.
And if you have a smart TV, it's built in. You don't need any of those players. Or if you're using an Xbox 360, Xbox One, PlayStation 3 or 4, a Wii even, all of those have a lot of these services like Netflix and Hulu and that built into them, and you don't need anything else.
Yeah. Someone, Olivia, Yoda One Library was mentioning what kind of earphones I have. These are Sony. These are the Pro Sonys that you'll see these headphones used in a lot of recording studios, video editors. I'm a video editor in my day job, and so these are kind of reference headphones. If you're wondering what that is.
And Marty is excellent. Marty has great tips and advice for all kinds of, if you need video cameras and microphones and stuff. He always gives us our whole team great advice. He is our go-to guy. Him and Misty do such a great job on our production. We love them.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm going to show one bonus tip, and before we get to the winner, we're going to announce the winner very shortly here. But one bonus tip as far as streaming video. This is not consumption. This is actually if you're a content creator, if you're a would-be kind of like star and like to do video. I'm going to put up one thing here. In fact, I got it right up there. I'm going to put up the full screen here in a second if I can find it. Periscope. I know Robin was doing some Periscopes while we were waiting. And so Periscope, if you don't know what that is, we did one last week with Monica. Monica was on Periscope from the Bronx. We did one a couple weeks ago talking about the Apple Watch. This is an app available Android and iOS that allows you with one button click to go live to the internet and stream right from your phone. You can also watch other people stream. And I'll tell you, I have to say that especially if you're in business or if your video is any part of your business, it's a great way to meet people, to network, and just to have some fun. So that's kind of my bonus pick. Do you have one last pick, Robin?
Ooh.
Put you on the spot.
No, I don't have one last pick. You caught me off guard. I mean, we've talked about so many. I think music playing that I am a huge. So iTunes obviously is out there. I am a Microsoft Groove, formerly Xbox Music, and that's TV and movies and everything on there now. And Pandora is also one of my favorites. And I want to add, too, before we pick the winner, that I'm seeing even more questions come through, especially a lot about Chromecast. And if we didn't get to you today, if you could please go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/theonlinemom, then ask your questions there, and we will definitely get to you because I know you guys had a lot of questions.
Excellent. Well, I want to thank Robin. Robin, thank you for being our guest. I want to thank Monica for allowing me to host in her place. Monica will be back for our next show. Also want to remind everybody, I believe we have a VIOS chat coming up on Monday, is it? Is it, Robin? Is it Monday night?
I think it is. That's what I have on my calendar.
Yeah. Misty, is it Monday night? I'm yelling in the other room now. I'm not sure if she can hear me. I think it's Monday night. But watch the Twitter, and certainly want to see you there. And then we'll be back again next Friday with another VZWBuzz chat. Thank you, Robin, again. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And we will see you.
August 31st. It's the FIOS chat. It's FIOSNY, and it is Monday, August 31st at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Robin, you are on the ball. You got it right there. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great weekend, and we'll see you again next week.